Wow. Thank you. It's a great honor to be standing before you today. I'd like to begin with some thank yous that are very important to me. First, the class of 1970. Let's hear it from the class of 1970. Our class said they can't fry us all, and then they did. We all restricted together, and we all went on, and we learned from our not-so-good deeds. And we all went on to graduate, and all went on to distinguished service for our country. I'd also like to thank my parents who are no longer with us, who you saw in that wonderful video this afternoon. And like many of you here today, many of the midshipmen here today, I came to the Naval Academy because my mother made me. But they had a vision that my brother Craig and I would attend the Naval Academy. We did. Craig was a plebe when I was a firstie. Together, we had 7 N stars. Craig had 6 of them. He is now the winningest Navy squash coach in the history of the Naval Academy. We both thank our parents every day for making us go to the Naval Academy. I'd also like to thank my family, my wife of 36 years, Debbie, our 3 wonderful children, Daryl Ann, class of 07 from the Naval Academy, Cutler, as you heard, Southern Cal 09, and Devon, University of Virginia 11. For the mids here today, I'd like to share a little secret of success with you. And listen closely. You may never hear this again. Marry well. Because your spouse makes everything possible in whatever you do in your future. I'd also like to thank all my many shipmates throughout the years, my Alexandria friends and neighbors, and finally, but not last, my Navy Federal team of the last 12 years. They are 15,000 strong, and our key leaders are here today. I'd like to have them stand, and take a look at them. Please stand, my Navy Federal team members. It's been a joy to see what they accomplish every day. My 4 years at the Naval Academy set the course that I continue to follow. The varsity tennis team with a win over Army, 2 sets as a company commander, followed by graduation in the upper 4/5 of my class. I mention that because it's true, but also to remind you here today that your career begins after graduation, and it will be a great adventure. Many of you will stand before your first division or platoon like I did and think, wow, these men and women really are counting on me. I better make them proud. I was fortunate enough to have a commanding officer by the name of Pete Headley, who arranged for me to go to command of my first ship at the age of 27. Captain Headley believed that one should go to command as early and as often as possible. He simply said, the more you do it, the better you get at it. He was right. I will tell you, at age 27, in command of the USS Malala, I was totally fearless. It was the joy of my life. I simply said to myself, I'm going to do the best I can, take risk where appropriate, and try to do the right thing. And if something bad happens, what the hell? I'll get out and go into business. Nothing bad happened, and it took me almost 30 years before I did get out and join the business world. I believe, as a graduate of the Naval Academy, whether you stay in for 5 years or 35 years, your experiences will make you a leader in whatever you do. Our class of 70 Reef Points had a quote from John Paul Jones that has guided my thoughts since I read them. He said that those who will not risk cannot win. And sometimes there are different reasons to take risks. I'd like to share a sea story with you. Those who work with me know that I love to tell sea stories. In the early 80s, I was in command of USS Bronstein, and we were on deployment, and we were in the Sea of Japan, and we were operating with the carrier Midway. And the aviator admiral on the Midway invited all the COs over for lunch. I wanted to go. I love hanging with aviators. So I went, landed on the Midway, went up to the flag mess, joined the other COs, and when I walked in, they looked at me and they said, "What are you doing here? Your ship is unrepping in 5 minutes. And then you've got plane guard duty after that." I'm the junior CO. I just smiled at him and I said, "I've got a terrific executive officer. He'll do just fine." So I had a great lunch, went back. Ship was in plane guard station. And I sat in my chair, just cool, calm as a cucumber, kind of. And my executive officer came up to me. He said, "Captain, I want you to know that when I made the approach to the oiler, I turned around to see what you thought about how I was doing, and you weren't there." It was a moment that I'll always remember. I simply said to him, I said, "XO, you are going to have command of your own ship someday. I trust you like no one else." Taking care of your people is also the most important thing that you can do. If you are loyal to them and they believe that you have their best interests at heart, they will do extraordinary things for you. And a crew can tell. They can tell in a heartbeat. I was fortunate enough in the later part of my career to have had command of the USS Enterprise Battle Group. It was there that I gained a deep appreciation for Navy and Marine Corps naval aviators. Talk about fearless and evaluators of risk. There are none better in this world. I was in awe every day of what they did. Plus, I enjoyed learning their call signs and seeing their big watches that they wore. I don't think Admiral Smith here today wore a big watch, but I can't quite remember. Navy and Marine Corps careers do come to an end, whether it's 5 years or 35 years. Please know that your Navy or Marine Corps experiences will put you heads and shoulders ahead of those who have not chosen your path. You have chosen a path of honor and excellence. There is none better. For the past 12 years, I have been blessed working with the Navy Federal team. It is truly one that cares about its members, one that is always thinking about doing the right thing. Teamwork is what it's all about. To be part of a team where you can contribute and be proud of is what life should be all about. Navy Federal serves where you serve in over 300 locations. Just stop by and tell them the President sent you. They will take good care of you. In conclusion, I have been fortunate enough to have had 2 careers, all based on my start at the Naval Academy. The mantra that is ingrained in all of us of yes, sir, no, sir, I'll find out, sir, and no excuse, sir, does work no matter what you do. A wonderful family, great friends, a sense of teamwork, and a worthy mission all began for me at the Naval Academy. I look forward to your journey through life, and you will be living the dream just like I have been. Thank you very much.